AEW Dynamite took place from Austin, Texas tonight. And you started the show off with the tag team titles on the line. You had Kenny Omega and Adam Hangman Page defending their titles against SCU, which was Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. And what happens is, in the pre-match, you had the Dark Order interrupt. And then what happened was, once they had the Dark Order put out a video package or whatever, that forced Christopher Daniels to leave ringside and to go after him backstage. So it's pretty obvious he's going to be their leader. It's him or Matt Hardy. I assume you could see a feud actually with Christopher Daniels and Matt Hardy, because I think once Hardy goes to AEW, which I assume is soon, he could be the leader of the Dark Order, but it's one of those two, Hardy or Daniels. I am assuming probably Hardy. Yeah, I don't think they can go to Daniels now. They've done too many swerves. So this match was pretty good. It was a solid tag team match. Kazarian and Sky are older, but they did well here with Omega and Page. You knew who was going to win. Omega and Page get the win. Omega gets the victory on Kazarian. He pins him. And what happened was a kind of weird ending where Kazarian was getting pinned. It was 1-2, and he grabs the ropes, and I guess what? As soon as he grabs the ropes, before he can grab them, the referee hit 3. So I hope they don't do a dispute finish. They have to do a fucking rematch again, and we see another match between these teams. But I think this should be it. It was kind of strange. He grabs ropes 1-2, and then it goes down for the 3. So Page drank beer with the fans. Omega celebrated. They won the match, and they retained the titles. Young Bucks run down, and what happened was they had the best friends, the best friends run out, and they had the Butcher, the Blade, the Bunny. You had Jack Evans, Angelico, and the Young Bucks. They all have a chaotic brawl. They all fight in the ring as soon as the tag team match ended. So sets out the Battle Royal next week. They, the announcers hyped up the card for the rest of the evening. They go to a very good video interview with Santana and Jim Ross. I thought this was fantastic. Santana talked about his father, who was blind, and of course he relates the eye injury to his blind father. And he talked about how he was broke, how he was living in a box basically, and he had no money to his name, he had no job, and he mentioned how his father died. And once he called his father when he was in the bad position. Of course, his father died before he could ever. I don't think he died at that time. He died a little bit later, and he can say goodbye. And the whole eye injury really affects him. So he's really mad about it, and he wants to face. He wants to get revenge on Mox. I thought it was very good. I thought this was a very, very good promo. It makes you think, man, is Santana going to be a star? This was a fucking great promo. I loved it. They show a Darby Allin video package. He's going after Jericho. I thought this was well done. You have Dustin Rhodes against Sammy Guevara. Guevara was with Jake Hager. It was okay. Rhodes and Hager had to stare like they're going to feud. I don't need to see Goldust and Jack Swagger. I'm sorry, I don't need to see that match. But Rhodes, he gets the win here. And he beats Sammy Guevara, and he rips into Hager. He says he rips him for failing in MMA, calls him Jericho's bitch. He rips into him, and they set up the match probably next week. They show Tony Schiavone interviewing Britt Baker. Britt, she rips into Yuka, making fun of her tooth, and she rags on him. She calls him Mr. Starbucks, and then what she says is, has that ever been explained on TV, or is this AEW's version of the Bischoff using the scissors line on Arn Anderson, expecting a response? So that was funny. And then she heels on the fans. She calls them a bunch of fat Whataburger faces, and the fans, I guess they start chanting something about Whataburger. I don't know. This is weird. Whataburger faces. All right. I don't know. I guess I didn't sit with the fans. I don't know what they were chanting. They were chanting something at her. I couldn't make it out. Next, we go to AEW Women's Title. You have Rhea against Nyla Rose. This was the best match of the night. This was a very, very entertaining matchup. It's pretty obvious going to give it to Nyla Rose. I thought they did a better job building up Nyla Rose. I think if they would have given it to her the first, and everyone thought, I'll just want to give a transgender chick or transgender the champ, to make a political statement. Cody Rhodes making a political statement, diversity, stuff like that. Instead, here they built her up well. They did a good job with her, and Rhea was an awful champion anyway. I like her, but let's be honest, she was awful as champ. She did nothing. She was 98 pounds. She did absolutely nothing. We may as well just put on Nyla Rose. I would say, why not? You know, she was a better champion than Rio. She'll get more attention. I don't know what her matches are, but Rio's 98 pounds. I say just put her on. I don't think it's a big deal at all. And to give her the belt, I have no problem with it. The match was a very good match. There was parts where Rio was slamming Nyla Rose. I cannot take that seriously. But there was parts where it was really fun. There was parts, oh shit, was Rio going to win? Rio hit the foot stomps. And of course, Nyla Rose continues to get out of it. Eventually, she hits the beast bomb for the win. They have very good chemistry. It worked really well, but Nyla Rose is your champ. They show in a commercial break, they show her walking backstage, show Tony Khan hugging her, then she yells at Kenny Omega. She yells at all the other chicks in the women's division. She's cutting a promo, so I guess we'll probably be on Dark or something. We go backstage to see Lexi Nair. I'm going to check. Is Jen Stringer gone? I'm going to check, sorry. I don't know. Sorry, Jen Decker. Not Stringer, Decker. I don't know. She's still there? I guess not. I haven't seen her. And we have Lexi. She's interviewing Chris Jericho, and she calls him Jericho. He makes her call her Mr. Jericho. He's with the Inner Circle. Decent promo on Moxley, so they hype it up really well. They go to a video package on MJF and Cody Rhodes. Brandy is on commentary. She's a babyface again, and Brandy's completely turned around. She's a face. And I saw her interview with Brian Alvarez in Wrestling Observer. I like Brian Alvarez, but man, I don't know, him and Dave are getting some money from AEW. It was just really, man, they're cucking for them. MJF against Jungle Boy with Brandy on commentary. It's an okay TV match. We know who's going to win this. It was fine. Jungle Boy is okay. He came out with Luchasaurus, who's a big star there. He sent, what's the guy's name? What's his name? Wardlow. He sent him to the back early, but of course he would get the win. He beat Jungle Boy, and then Wardlow comes in. He beats up Marco Stuns, and he beats down Jungle Boy and all of them. So it was a good little TV match, I guess. They show Pac training. He's ready for Omega, and he wants to beat him, and I guess they will have a 30-minute match next week. So Lucha Bros against Omega and Page for the tag titles is announced next week. You have Dustin Rhodes against Jake Hager at Revolution. You have a video package recap the eye injuries for Moxley and Santana. And then finally we have Jericho, Hager, and Guevara entering the luxury box as we play to the crowd as we get to the main event. Santana comes out where Ortiz is there, and it's John Moxley against Santana. So we knew Moxley was going to win. It was an okay matchup. Moxley gets the win. He beats him. However, after the match, the big thing that happens is first Ortiz jumps in. He goes right after his good eye, and then Guevara and Hager run in and continue to attack him. Jericho then beats him with the title belt. Guevara hits a 630. Jericho hits the Judas effect. And then all of a sudden, Jeff Cobb comes out. He hits the Tour of the Islands on Moxley. They all pose with the Inner Circle. I guess Jeff Cobb's in there. Good angle to end it, and that's how they introduced Jeff Cobb to AEW. So they continue to build up for Jericho Moxley. It feels like this has been one of the longest build-ups you'd ever see. But the pay-per-view's in a couple weeks, and it was a decent show. I thought Dynamite was pretty good this week.